Well, good morning, guys. We're going to do a little yoga to metabolize some of the stuff we're all facing with the last week's dramatic political stuff that's been going on and life stuff. So, all you're going to need for today's practice is a block and a blanket. And what we're going to do is we're going to start standing. We're going to take our feet nice and wide and point them towards the long side of your mat. And if you, like me, you have a big baggy sweatshirt on, if you need anything to get warm, make sure that you keep your body warm right now. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start by breathing. So we're going to bend our knees, inhale, reach up, and exhale, plie down, and then inhale, reach up, exhale. So you're just going to move like this. And as you move like this, just start by breathing through your nose. So we're going to start to warm up the body. So inhaling to reach up, exhaling to plie, inhale to reach up. And you can move however you want. You can, be very strict about it. You can be a little bit less strict about it. Just finding a little movement this morning. So we'll do 2 more of those, and you can go deep or you can go shallow, just depending upon how you're feeling. And then go ahead and come back to center. Walk your feet a little wider. And here, turn your toes slightly out towards the ends of your mat. Go ahead and bend both knees and take your hands to your thighs and start to press your thighs down with your hands as you bend your knees. So you're kind of letting your upper torso rest on your support of your arms here. And just start to shift your hips left and right. So you can pick up your toes, just starting to build a little heat in the legs. And then from here, walk your hands out to the knees and press your knees back. So you're sending your hips back, your chest forward, and just continuing to kind of shift the hips left and right. Now your toes will likely stay on the ground. You're just kind of shifting the shoulders a little bit. And then from here, we're going to add on to that movement. So you're going to drop your right shoulder towards your left knee, come back through center, and then drop your left shoulder towards your right knee. So just moving back and forth, pressing the knees out and away and down. Do 1 more on each side, and you may notice that you're starting to get a little warm. And then go ahead and come back up to stand. Maybe turn your toes back towards the side of the mat and just kind of shake it out. Now, any kind of movement you feel like you need, any kind of like bouncing, stomping your feet, shaking out your legs, anything that feels like you need to move it. So kind of clear your space. Use your physical body to just clear it out. There's been a lot that's been going on in our lives. There's been a lot that's been going on in the world. And you may just feel like you need to express it. So shake it out, take a moment, breathe deep, kind of move your head, move your hips, move your knees. Just take this really organic kind of movement. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to look like anything. It can be dancing. It can be sighing out loud. Just all of these things. Just allow it to move. And then for a moment, come back to center. If you feel like you have any last minute wiggles, get your feet underneath your hips and arms down by your side. And all I want you to do is just actually shake. So shake your knees, shake your hands, shake your shoulders, and shake quickly. So you're really kind of activating the muscles here. And take a deep breath in and let it out. Keep shaking. Let that shake get into your torso, up into your shoulders. Maybe close your eyes. Notice what that shake feels like, what that shake does to your body. Again, generating heat. Maybe start to bounce once again. Shake out the arms and legs, or continue with that shaking kind of movement. Whatever feels good. You can alternate back and forth between the two. And then go ahead and just land for a moment. Take one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale out through your nose. And just notice how you feel. We're going to do one more standing kind of movement here. But just take one more breath. And then go ahead and just gently open your eyes. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start to do kind of a cross-body sweep with the right arm. Reach the right leg back, and then you're going to come back to center, and then you're going to do the opposite with the left side. So you're just reaching across the body. And if you want to move quickly, maybe add a hop in the middle. This again, just letting this kind of energy move through your system. And you may notice that your breath wants to move a little faster. If that's the case, let it move a little faster. You may notice that you want to audibly sigh out. You may want to make noise. Make noise. We are in our own homes. We can do what we want. Just continue to move. We're going to do 5 more. So here's 1. Here's 2. Here's 3. Here's 4. And here's 5. And then come back to center. Get those feet back under your hips. Center yourself just for a second. Maybe shake out your hands. Take a moment just to kind of wiggle. And then really allow your body to land. Take one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. Take a couple of slow, deep breaths in and out. And just notice. So you may feel a little heat. You may feel like you want to wiggle still, and that's okay. We're going to continue to move a little bit, but we're going to start to move the energy down onto the ground. So take one more moment here. Just allowing the body to settle. And then go ahead and come on down to sit on your blanket or your block. Whatever feels like it suits you today. I'm going to sit on my blanket and just kind of take my block off to the left or right. And here, we're just going to start with some rocking. Really simple, basic stuff. So whenever, at least for me especially, when I feel real activated, when I feel like the world is falling apart, I tend to need to just kind of reground. And a lot of that regrounding goes back to old movements that are familiar, movements that feel good in my body, movements that are relatively simple. So shaking it out, jumping it out, rocking it out, all of those things are things that I come back to. So here, just let your eyes open, let them sweep the room left and right. And if your eyes catch on something and give you a little anxiety, whether it's, the mounting piles, in my case, of animal hair that need to be vacuumed, or, the cluttered mess or the laundry that needs to be put away or whatever it is, just kind of take it in, let it go. Let it just kind of pass through you, wash through your awareness, wash through your attention. We'll take 2 more rocks. And then from here, go ahead and come back to center. Maybe just close your eyes. Maybe just soften your gaze. If you need to make any adjustment to your seat, maybe just tug that flesh out from underneath so that you have a better connection to the floor. And here, find a nice long spine. See if you can lift the back third of your tongue up towards the roof of your mouth, and at the same time, like you're being tugged from the crown of your head, imagine that there's a line that goes from the crown of your head down to the back of your tongue, down to your heart, down into your pelvis, and it's just lifting up. And just take a couple breaths here. So we're going to start to do our tapping practice. So if you'd like, just take your fingertips and you're just going to drum your fingertips along the hairline. You can move quickly or slowly. Today I'm feeling quick, so I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. Imagine it like rain, just falling down on your head. And then go ahead and tap above the eyebrows. And you can start to group the fingertips together and tap both out towards the edges of the eyebrows and in towards the middle. And then if you like, you can take a moment and tap back up towards the hairline, but just kind of gently, really softly tap along those eyebrows. And then draw your fingers down and start to tap along the jawline. So jawline up underneath the eyes, just really gently here. So I'm just going to do it on my left side because my microphone is kind of in my way, but just along the sinuses. So that cheekbone, that sort of place if you wear makeup or if you put blush on, you might put your blush. And then just tap back up above the brow and back down around the orbital bone here. So just allowing a little bit of this tapping to kind of reset your system. And then we're going to move into the corners of the jaws, the side of the jaw. So if you open your jaw, you'll notice the muscles move. So find that place where the movement is the most, and you're just going to tap at that point. So again, I'm just going to tap on my left side because my microphone's on my right. But just tap into this jaw, maybe tap into the soft part of the cheeks below that cheekbone. See if you can kind of get the jaw muscles to relax. And again, you can tap slowly or quickly. You can tap with your fingers together or drum, however you like. And then we're just going to take our fingers and tap right above the lip underneath the nose. And then go ahead and tap under the lip on the chin and down along the base of the jawline here. Like I said, these tapping and rocking techniques are just a way to kind of let our bodies get into the rest and digest system, kind of metabolize anything that's kind of hanging out, that's hanging over our heads. And then go ahead and come back up to the hairline and just take one last tap across all those places that you just touched. Maybe open the jaw. And then we're going to take our peace fingers and we're going to do a little lymph drainage, so moving lymph. You have a lymph system in your body that acts sort of like the sewer system of your body, pulls all the toxins and stuff out of your blood and lets your body excrete it. So in order to move lymph, you either have to do, physical exercise, get your heart rate up, which we've done, or you can do some massage. So this is a lymphatic massage. You're going to take your peace fingers underneath your ears, right at sort of the corner of your neck, and just drag down along the side of your neck. Feels really nice. You can lift your chin, and as you drag down, kind of imagine like dragging down into your collarbone. If you want to give a little wiggle at the end as you approach the collarbone, go ahead and do that. And take a couple breaths. We'll do 2 more swipes. And then we're going to start with a tapping on the chest. So what I'd like you to do is take your fingertips, make them into little buds, and we're going to start at the center of the chest and go out towards the shoulders. So we're going to start with both sides here. If this feels too pointed, if this feels too sharp, you can always kind of softly make a fist with your hands and just start to tap out towards your shoulders. And if you want to like kind of King Kong it and bang on your chest, make your voice sound funny, that works too. These rhythms, these kind of massage can get down into the lungs and just kind of loosen stuff up. If you feel like you need to cough, if you feel like you need to clear your throat, go for it. And then from here, we're going to take our left hand behind our head and tap out from the center of the chest out towards the left shoulder. So going from the sternum out towards left shoulder, if you'd like to look out towards your right. And then we're going to start to move that tapping up underneath the armpit, kind of brushing up. Notice if you feel any tenderness here. I know I do. It just means I need to move. I've been really stagnant the last few days. Tap along the outside of the rib cage, up underneath the chest, and back up the sternum. So just do a couple of those circles, tapping either direction. You can either move clockwise or counterclockwise, doesn't matter. Just kind of moving things around here. And then go ahead and release, and we're going to just switch sides. So take the right hand behind your head. I'm going to tap from the center of the chest out towards that right shoulder. If you'd like to look over towards your left side, you can. If you'd like to keep your gaze center, that's fine too. And you can tap as gently or as firmly as you like. This is not really a, aggressive treatment. Tap up into underneath the armpit. Again, notice if you're sore, if you're tender. Lift the elbow towards the sky, kind of brush upwards, and then tap down along the side, along the rib cage, underneath the chest, and back up the center. And notice if you want to sigh, if you want to yawn, your body will start to sort of bring the autonomic system back online. And then go ahead, release both hands back down to your thighs, close your eyes, and just notice what the effect of that sort of cacophony of tapping is. We're going to move a little bit more here, but just notice what you felt like before versus what you feel like now. Kind of letting that energy kind of just move through you. This is not energy we have to hold on to. This is not energy that we have to hang on to. Try to let it pass through. Imagine that energy moving down and out, much like lymph does, the same kind of, or much like the toxins that our lymph system cleans out does. Just let them move, let them go. We don't have to hang on. Take another deep breath in, and one more breath out. And then gently open your eyes. Take your left hand to your right knee, and take your right hand behind your head, and all you're going to do is just dip that left shoulder towards that left knee. So opening up the chest, opening up the side body. Again, repeating that kind of rocking movement. Just continue to move with your breath. You can either breathe in or breathe out as you drop that shoulder. And really reach that right elbow up and kind of over. And then come back to center, and we're just going to switch sides. So take that right hand over to the left knee. Take your left hand up behind your head, and you're going to dip that right shoulder. So again, just kind of compressing through the side body. This idea of the side body bending like this, really being very similar to doing back bends, which can help kind of compress the adrenals, can help just calm us down a little bit. Not that we're looking to kind of ignore the feelings that we're feeling, not that we're looking to just gloss over them and try to make them better. Of course, we want to sit with what we feel, but letting the stuff pass through us is really important. Trying not to hold on to it. Finding a way to reset. So we will do 2 more of those. Here's 1. And then 2. And then come back to center. Go ahead and kind of wiggle your feet. Wiggle that pelvis down onto the ground. Maybe close your eyes. And take a deep breath in through your nose. And let it out through your mouth. Do that 1 more time. And then we're going to come into that straw breath. So we're going to take 3 straw breaths. You're going to inhale and exhale out through pursed lips, like you're blowing through a straw. Inhale and exhale out through pursed lips. Inhale and exhale out through pursed lips. Good. And then go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to come off our blanket, and you can slide that off to the side and just grab your block. I'm going to place my block on my right side. I have mine on its middle setting. If this becomes too much, we're going to get into sort of the side body here, release some of the lats. But if this gets to be too much, you can always turn the block down or take your blanket and pop it over the top so that it's not quite so sharp. So we're going to come down onto our side with this block right at the inside line of essentially kind of at the nipple line. So you're going to come down onto your elbow, take both legs out to the side long, and find a place where that block kind of starts to get into that gooey stuff, get into that real kind of sensitive space on those lats, on the side body. And here, just support your head. You can stack your knees if you want. You can bend your knees if you feel uncomfortable and you feel like you need to get a blanket between your knees or support underneath your hip. Feel free to do that too. And then from here, just as you start to settle in, we're going to start to move the chest forward and back. So you're just rotating that chest slightly towards the sky and then slightly towards the floor. Just kind of rocking forward and back. Taking a few breaths. Breathing into any sensation that may be coming up. I'm getting a lot of, it's pain. I'm not going to lie. I'm getting a lot of pain. It's not so much that I can't handle it. It's just uncomfortable. So I'm just trying to not fight it. Essentially, I'm trying to find that place where I notice it and just kind of be there. And just continue to kind of rock, and you'll notice that the muscles will slowly start to let go, slowly start to release. You may notice an ache up into the side of the neck, the top of the shoulder, maybe down into the rib cage, all totally normal. Try to stay with it just for a few more breaths. And then go ahead and take your hands back down to the mat. Press yourself up and off of that block, and we're just going to switch sides. So you may notice that when you come back up through center, a little bit of warmth, a little bit of kind of wobbliness. Just go slow, move through it at your pace, and just, take some time. Don't feel like you have to rush through it. We're going to switch over to the opposite side. So once again, you can turn your block down if this is too high. For me, it's actually working out great, so I'm going to stick with it. If you want to add the blanket on top to pad the top of the block, feel free to do that. I'm going to come down so that that block is right in line with the nipple line. And you're going to bend your left elbow. Let that left side kind of come down onto that block. Make whatever adjustments you need so that you can feel this sensation. You do want to feel a sensation. It shouldn't just not feel anything. My left side is a little bit more tender than my right. So I'm going to go a little slower. And actually, I may try and turn the block down and see if that improves kind of the sensation that I'm feeling. I'm not looking to kind of let my whole body weight rest on the block, but I do want some pressure. So by turning the block down, I've actually taken a little bit of the pressure off. So I have a little bit more kind of movement. And then once I feel like that low level block is not really doing what I need or what I want, I'm going to turn that block back up. So just feel free to play with it. And here, just kind of give it a little rock front and back. If you need to, stack that blanket between your knees, feel free. If you want to take both legs out long, you can. I find I'm a little more stable when I bend my knees. So just kind of let that open up. Open up the sides of the lungs. What we're doing here is really opening up the sides of the lungs, allowing the muscles to kind of release here so that we can get a better, deeper breath. Because a lot of times when you are really activated, when you are really overwhelmed, when you are really feeling stressed out, your breathing gets shallow. So by opening up the sides of the body, you're offering up space for that breath to go. And we're going to continue to work with that through this practice for the next little bit. So we'll take just a couple more moments here. Maybe if you want to close your eyes and just kind of go inside that sensation again. Finding a place where it is sensitive, it is uncomfortable, and kind of hanging out there and just letting your awareness kind of dissipate it. Letting that awareness touch where it hurts and letting it soften, maybe with an out breath. And from here, roll your shoulders more towards the earth, press down, go ahead and bring your head back up through center. You can move that block off your mat. Let your head come back up. It's a little bit of you may get a little dizzy, like I said, a little bit of a head rush when you come back to center. Whatever you're experiencing, just go slow. I know I did not have a lot of sleep last night, so I'm actually feeling that kind of dizziness quite a bit. But if you're feeling cool, then we'll move on. We're going to come around onto all fours. If you'd like to pad your knees, feel free. But here, take your hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips, and just start to send your hips back and reach your hands forward, and then send your heart forward and reach your hips down. So just kind of coming into a child's pose and then moving into almost sort of an upward dog, but keeping the knees on the ground. And breathing however feels good, breathing in a way that feels supportive of the movement. So not trying to constrict it in any way, maybe trying to just breathe through your nose. Try to keep your mouth shut. Notice what that feels like. If that starts to feel uncomfortable or restrictive to you, go ahead and separate your lips and breathe out through your mouth. We'll do 2 more of those. And then go ahead, sink your hips back towards your heels, come into an extended downward dog, an extended child's pose. Let your belly hang between your thighs. Keep your palms rooted on the floor. Maybe let your forehead move towards the mat. If you need a support underneath your forehead, you can always grab your block and let your forehead rest on that block. If that feels like it's supportive to you, you can also use your blanket. Here, actively press down into your hands to sink your hips back more towards your heels. Take a couple breaths. And then go ahead and just wave through the spine, come back up to all fours. Maybe take your knees back under your hips, hands under shoulders, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog, pedal out your feet. And in this case, my downward dog is kind of short, and that's okay. I'm kind of enjoying that, so I'm going to go with it. And then from here, we're just going to start to move through a couple of vinyasas. Again, adding some activity into those moments of pause to continue to metabolize anything that's coming up. So from here, bend your knees. And on your exhale, look between your hands. Take a walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, bend your knees, sweep your arms up and overhead. And exhale, hands come down to heart center. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, draw your heart forward, fingertips come to the mat. And then exhale, hands come down, step back, downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Take a couple inhales and exhales. And then from here, bend your knees, look between your hands, take a walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift, reach the head forward. Exhale to fold, let the belly touch the thighs. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet. Take 2 deep breaths. On your next inhale, bend your knees, and on your exhale, step back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up, reach up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. All right. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fingertips come down, step that right foot back. Inhale, drop the knee. Sweep the arms up, reach your chest up. Exhale, frame that front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the right foot up. Exhale, right foot in between the hands, the top of the mat. Drop the left knee. Inhale to sweep your arms up, reach up. Exhale, frame that front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, drop to your knees. Untuck your toes, lower your chest. Inhale, lift the heart, lift the head. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. We're moving a little quick today. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. There's a purpose to that. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale to fold. We're metabolizing the tough stuff. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, this time left foot comes back. Drop that left knee. Inhale to sweep your arms up. Exhale, frame that front foot. Tuck your back toes. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, sweep the left foot up towards the sky. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands, the top of the mat. Drop your right knee. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale, frame that front foot. Tuck your back toes. Downward facing dog. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, lower to your knees. Lower to your belly. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips. Downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, look between your hands. Take a walk up to the top of your mat. Take an inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to sweep the arms up and overhead. And exhale, hands come down to heart center. Find a rhythm. Inhale to sweep. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, right foot steps back. Lower that back knee. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, frame that front foot. Step back, press back, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot comes up. Exhale, step the left foot in between the hands, the top of the mat, drop the back knee. Sweep your arms up. Exhale, frame that front foot. Step back, downward facing dog. Shift your shoulders forward, high plank. Lower to your knees, lower to your belly. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Bend your knees, look between your hands, take a walk up to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Last one. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, this time left foot goes back. Drop the back knee. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, frame that front foot. Tuck your back toes, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right foot towards the sky. Exhale, step that right foot in between the hands. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, hands come down to frame that front foot. Tuck that back toe, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Exhale, down to your knees, lower to your chest. Inhale, back bend of choice. Exhale, press up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale to bend your knees, look between your hands. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands come down to heart center. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to halfway lift. And on your exhale, separate your feet or just come down to a squat. Let your rear end come to rest on the mat. Come to sit in a comfortable pose, just facing the direction we were moving. Close your eyes. Maybe place your hands on your thighs or one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. I'm going to turn my palms up towards the sky and just start to notice. So as I sit here, what I'm noticing is heat, some warmth, but also an innate rhythm, a rhythm of expansion and contraction. And perhaps that's just where we are right now, is in a period of change, a period of contraction. And it's something we just have to ride the wave of, because it will change again. Take a couple deep breaths. Let the temperature in your body lower. Allow your breath to settle and steady. And then from here, just gently open your eyes. Go ahead and take your hands behind your hips. Plant both feet on the mat so that the knees are pointed towards the sky. And you can turn your fingertips kind of roughly towards your hips, or if it feels better, turn them away. We're going to do a couple of kind of reverse tabletops here. So walk your feet out just a little bit away from your pelvis. And on your next inhale, all you're going to do is pick up your pelvis, draw it so it's in line with your hips or with your knees. And then if it feels good, let your head drop back. Take a couple of breaths, opening the front body, opening the heart. And then slowly exhale, lower the hips. Maybe draw the hips back towards the hands. Take a moment, take a breath. Inhale, drag your hips up so they come to be in line with your knees. Maybe drop the head back, open the throat. And then exhale, lower the hips. Last time, inhale to lift. Hips in line with knees. Open the throat. Let the head fall back. Open the heart. And then exhale. Go ahead and drop the hips. This time, once again, just revisit that comfortable seat. Maybe keep your eyes closed or your gaze lowered. Maybe turn your palms towards the sky. Notice how that move, at least in my body, makes me feel a little bit more expansive, softened to the possibility of riding this wave. Take one more deep breath. Maybe notice if there's the urge to yawn or swallow. For me, I just had the urge to swallow, so my resting system is coming back online, which is exactly what I need, at least right now. And then from here, you can gently open your eyes, and we're just going to come back to lay on our backs. So however you'd like to get there, feel free to go ahead and lie down. And here, once you come down onto your back, maybe grab your blanket. And for me, I'm going to suggest that you place it across your pelvis. We're going to work on a little grounding here. And then just take both your legs out long. Maybe take your hands to your belly, or one hand to your heart, one hand to your belly. Close your eyes, or just soften your gaze towards the ceiling. And maybe try to take some slow, gentle breaths in and out through your nostrils. Notice what it feels like to let the backs of your shoulders rest against the earth instead of being curled forward, and instead of being in this defensive mode. Notice what it feels like to hold your head up, to have your eyes on the future. Notice what it feels like to feel grounded through the back body, through the connection of the earth that's always there beneath us, holding us up. And as you notice the connection of the earth, if there's any remaining anxiety or any remaining sensation that you need to just ground out, allow it to pass through your skin into the mat beneath you. Allow it to soften and puddle and pool and move away. Let your breath find its own natural rhythm, and see if you can maybe just extend the length of your exhale. See if you can just allow the exhale to completely leave the body. Imagine that as you're exhaling, that any of that anxiety, any of that anxiousness you're feeling about the future of your own life, about the future of this country, let it just melt for right now. We can pick up those mantles. We can fight the good fight once we have replenished our own well. Take a few moments of silence here, a few moments to just feel into the space, feel into your body. And when you're ready, just slowly start to deepen your breath. Maybe further lengthen that exhale. And begin to invite waves of movement back into your system. Wiggling your toes, your fingers, maybe rolling your head from one side to the other, and noticing and indulging in the urge to stretch and yawn. Make any kind of audible sound. And then when you're ready, just bend your knees and slowly roll over towards your right or left side. Finding a comfortable position just to rest on your side for a moment. And then when you're ready, just gently roll your shoulders more towards the earth. Press down to sit up. Find your own easy seat, whether that means sitting back on a blanket or sitting on your block. And once you've found that easy seat, once again, maybe close your eyes and start to imagine that line that reaches from the crown of your head through the back of your throat, the back of your tongue, down through your chest, through your heart, and into the center of your pelvis. See if you can find that string and just give it a little bit more length. Maybe turn the palms towards the sky if you're looking to receive, or if you're looking to continue to ground, turn the palms towards your thighs, towards the earth. Take a few moments here just to notice. Notice what you came in with, and notice what you'll be walking out with. Take a deep breath in and slowly draw your hands towards heart center. Let the palms meet. your thumbs rest against your sternum. And bow your head towards your heart. All of the love and light in me bows to and honors all of the love and light in each one of you. May you find replenishment. May you find peace. May you find the capability to fight another day. Namaste.